Good morning, guys. It's Monday morning. Usual Physique update. Yesterday, day before, I was on low carb day, so I wasn't eating enough. I was lowering my carb intake. Only after post workout, I had a little bit of oatmeal, but less than 50 grams a day, to really use body fat as an energy source to burn body fat. The point of a low carb diet is low carb day on the carb cycling is to do lean bulking. So sometimes I have a high carb day, sometimes I'm on a low carb, because I can bulk up, but also I can burn my body fat so that I stay lean when I'm bulking. Anyways, guys, so today's Monday morning, usual kind of vlog kind of thing. So today, I think summertime started from today. So I was thinking this showed up in my dream, because I wasn't really sure. I was so confused if I'm gonna lose 1 hour or if I'm gonna gain 1 hour. I'm still confused at this point because I saw this a few times in my dream last night. Basically sunset. Right now it's 6:30-ish. And it's still bright until 7 p.m. I think it's gonna be pushed back 1 hour, so 8 p.m. Meaning we're gonna gain 1 hour. 7 become 8. So 6 becomes 7. So 5 becomes 6 a.m. Feel like we lost 1 hour. I don't know. Anyways, summertime started, but anyways, today's Monday. Today's a day off in terms of gym for me. Today's a rest day. So because I don't need to go to gym and I can still work from home, I decided to work from home. As it's a flexibility that I can enjoy as a software engineer in certain companies. So I could do it maybe once or twice a week. Everybody almost like everybody does work from home like once or twice a week, which is really nice. But aside from that, summertime started, working from today, and then gym rest day. I wanted to kind of mention about how my coworkers been telling me about all the Japanese animes and mangas. So this is not my first time. When I studied in Canada, Canadian friends told me about, hey, Sashi, do you know this and that manga and anime? And my answer has always been no, I've never heard of that. I have been one of the least, one of the Japanese guy or person who knows the least about manga and anime. So usually foreigners tend to know more about mangas and animes. Possibly because, I'm not saying all the foreigners, but those people who are interested in Japanese culture, because they have more exposures to, or they might look for certain animes and mangas. So certain things. So I asked my coworkers what kind of animes and mangas and animes they watch, their favorite. I had kind of list of them, and some of the things that stood out for me was there was a thing called One Saiyan, Ninja Hattori-kun, but a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Oh, Inuyasha was I knew about it. Ninja Hattori-kun was so old, and that's why I remember. And I kind of remember the name, Inuyasha. But most of them are not necessarily super popular per se in Japan. So only mangas or animes that I've known or watched is go-to ones nationwide popular manga animes would be Doraemon, Crayon Shin-chan, Sazae-san for sure, Detective Conan. I really like Detective Conan. Lupin the Third, Lupin Sensei, which is my favorite, and Studio Ghibli, you cannot forget. the animes, I mean movies. And maybe you can include the Pokemon. But other than that, anything else depends on really person's preference. So for example, I liked Hajime no Ippo. It's a boxing manga. Hajime no Ippo was my kind of favorite as well. You could like Captain Tsubasa. It's for soccer, football. I liked Playball and Captain. It's a baseball manga. Other one, or like a Slam Dunk, it's a basketball one. It's pretty funny. So Slam Dunk is basketball. You could like those sports-based mangas. And other than that, I didn't really watch Dragon Ball Z. That's the thing. When I grew up, Dragon Ball was already started, and like hundreds of thousands of manga and series and chapters, and there weren't many playing in TV unless you get the subscription for that paid TV. So we didn't really watch those movies, I mean animes and mangas on the TV. I think I have to say that should be true. I know about Gundam, but I've never really watched it. I know there was a TV show for Gundam, but I wasn't interested. And a Dragon Ball Z or something like that wasn't on a show. So that's the reason why I didn't know much about those. Like I didn't read and stuff like that. So I'll show you the list. The list of mangas and animes that my coworker sent me. Some of them are like pretty minor, and I've only heard about it. So that's why I thought it's interesting, because outside of Japan, I know like in like my coworker told me in like South America, they're like TV broadcasting the manga. It's same in like Central Europe and Eastern Europe, but South America I've never heard about it, and that's kind of interesting, right? Because outside of Japan, people, it's kind of weird kind of situations that may be reversed. Well, yeah, if you watch like if you read comics and manga, you can buy a lot of them like in a bookstore and stuff. You have all kind of like collection of mangas. But if you don't, and if you only watch it from TV and stuff like that, then I'm not sure Japan has wide coverage. So let's see the list. Kinnikuman, yeah, I've heard about it, I've never read or watched it. Kinnikuman, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is a classic for girls, but even in Sailor Moon, I don't think it was on TV that much. Inuyasha, Ranma 2分の1. I've seen like title of this one, but I don't remember anything about this. Rurouni Kenshin, I've heard about this title, but I don't know the story. Dashu Kappei, I'm not sure. Dashu Kappei, never heard of it. Slayers, never heard about it. Dr. Slump, this is also old one. I think same as Ranma. Dr. Slump, I may have seen that, like, I think that kind of bee character flying around, right? Sherlock Holmes, Record of Lolos War, I'm not sure. Ninja Dragon. And Pokemon. Yeah, so that's that. I just wanted to tell you guys, me living abroad as a Japanese, and sometimes I get approached like ask question, hey, blah blah blah, animes, and then we start talking about manga and anime, and oftentimes those people watch animes abroad know way more about mangas and animes than I do. And I'm so surprised every time, because what their favorite mangas and animes tend to be something that's not so popular in Japan, or maybe I'm mistaken, maybe I just don't know about them. And then another surprising thing is that they're in their countries, like maybe Argentina or Spain. Yeah, my other coworker told me he's from Spain, so he said the mangas and animes in Spain. I was like, what the hell? Is it on in Spain or Argentina or Czech Republic or some countries, maybe it could be Italy as well. I was like so surprised. I don't think animes and manga was so global. So I was just so surprised about the power of that manga anime culture abroad. Not necessarily true in Western countries like Canada, United States, or UK, Australia. Those countries, those people don't give a fuck about other cultures. That's why they're in a low context culture. They're not interested in any other culture. That's why they don't have any culture. The food sucks and culture sucks, basically. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so that's kind of thing that I wanted to talk about. It's kind of surprising looking at Japan from outside and how foreigners look at Japan with like different taste, They don't necessarily like watch Doraemon or Crayon Shinchan, which was the case for me as a normal Japanese student. You watch everything like those, every Friday, whatnot. But people have a lot of like, taste for Japanese, a lot of different things, so like animes and so I was so curious and interesting about hearing their stories, their side, how they grew up watching those animes. A girl, like a female coworker told me she grew up watching one Saiyan or something like that. It's a kind of battle kind of movie. It was like she was watching every week, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that. I didn't know Japanese culture is, has so much repercussion to other countries and outside Japan, so far away, like South America. It's kind of cool, kind of cool. Doesn't mean Japanese people necessarily are cool. It's just a Japanese culture, manga, anime, and the food culture is cool. But Japanese people are as cool as anime, manga? I don't think so right now. I think for Japanese people to be able to be perceived as cool as anime, manga, and food. Think about it. People traveling to Japan, what do they look for? Food, history, culture, right? Not necessarily, Japanese people are so cool, I want to meet them kind of trip. And so for them to become like that, they need to first, overcome the language barrier to be able to communicate, because right now language barrier is too big. So for them, like for foreigners, it's almost impossible to really communicate and get to know them, Japanese people. And this is not just coming from me, because guy, the trouble friend that I met in Lithuania or Tallinn, Estonia, he just went to Japan for like 3-4 weeks in vacation. He said he really enjoyed Japan, like food and history and stuff like that. Culture is interesting, and he wanted to get to know Japanese people more. But language barrier created the distance with them. And another friend from Italy, so she was studying abroad in Japan, and she said, yeah, it's so cool that she's studying Japanese and whatnot. But you know what? She studied at Japanese university, but all friends she made pretty much was international friends, because how Japanese wasn't really fluent in anything, so communication languages become English, of course. And the Japanese people, even if they're interested in foreigners, exchange students, they have only basic English skills. So at the end, Japanese people stop speaking English because it's a burden for them. So in the end, it was hard to make Japanese friends. All right, see, there are a lot of examples like this. I'm hearing the stories from making friends with the people here. So that's why, as a Japanese people, to be able to kind of let out how cool they are, if they are cool. I'm not sure if they're cool or not. I'm just kidding. They need to master the language, the global language to communicate. But it's quite, countries really isolated. So I don't think it's gonna ever happen, and that's why it's so unique. That's a benefit. The upside of maintaining Japan as so unique, but downside is it's never going to be understood from outside, because language it's Japanese and then not English. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna start working from home today. First finish my protein, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, have a good day. Today's gonna be a really nice day. Bye bye.